junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Express Railway Station, Netaji Bhavan. Hereby arrived.
The Sanskrit meaning of the name Samir is cool breeze, and that's what he was today for the Delhi Capitals, ending their campaign with a win. They last won a game more than a month ago, the 22nd of April. Good to see them winning towards the end of their campaign. You're watching Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. This is how it ended. Punjab, propelled by a terrific innings by Marcus Stoinis, went past 200 after Shreyas Iyer's half-century. But then when Delhi came out to bat, the intent was very much there. In a nothing-to-lose fashion, they went about this chase. Rizvi came into bat in the 11th over, and that's what he did. 5 sixes in that innings of 58, not out of 25, and Delhi win by 6 wickets. Mr. Kartik and Mr. Bhogle will tell us how much they enjoyed watching Samir Rizvi come to the party.
I think outstanding innings. Just think of what was required. And again, they did have a great start to the way KL Rahul and Faf du Plessis batted. 55 runs for the first wicket. And then a few mini contributions from many people brought them to a stage. And the time when he walked out to bat, the number of runs required vis-a-vis a lesser known player, if one may use that word, and for him to come up with an innings like that, top draw.
You look at the batting card and you see the strike rates on that card. The top 6, everyone batted. They were all on the same page today.
If you're chasing 200, you've got to do that. You cannot have someone dropping anchor and playing at, say, 140, 150. That is the hazard when you're batting first. When you're batting first, you worry about the balls. We often say the balls don't come back. When you're chasing, then you've got to have innings like those. 44 of 27, 58 of 25, 18 of 14. I thought just 22 of 16. He started off much quicker than that. Did Sadiqullah Atal. He showed some promise, but as Kartik said, it was the opening combination that set the scene. If you're chasing 200 and you're 20-25 for 2, it's very, very difficult to come back from there. But good to see young Samir Rizvi. Been hearing about him a lot, and to be honest, completely honest, I was wondering, I said, is there genuinely something there to him? Because we've been hearing about it for a long time. So good to see.
61 in the power play, and you were very happy when that happened, weren't you?
Finally, after a while.
It's the company you keep.
That is why you say follow the leader.
You go into the slipstream.
Stay where he is. Stay close to where he is. I got points too.
61 in the power play, 93 at the halfway
mark. You made
mark.
the cardinal error of not going close to us.
Yeah, well, I lowballed it. Sorry about that, DC. 3 days in a row, a team that's eliminated as one. We'll come to that as well. But 61 in the power play, 93 at the halfway mark. They were, I think, 155 at the 15 over mark, and by then the job was pretty much done, because these days 10, 11 and over in the last 5 is always on.
100%. And also sometimes the best way to go through a chase or hunt down somebody's total is be very close to where they were at a similar stage, if you can manage that. You mentioned 93 at the halfway stage. Where was Punjab Kings? 97 at the halfway stage. So if you're toe-to-toe, at least close by, I think you always make a great fist of it in the end, given the kind of depth every team has. It always works out well for you. So really well chased by Delhi Capitals, something which they've been missing in the middle. Because again, we come back to the great start that they had, the great running streak that they had, and then that loss to Mumbai Indians, which was a close one. I thought it will affect them, but they came back to win that super over game, which was again a tight game, but then somehow things went downhill after that.
It's incredible, isn't it? You look at DC, you look at RR, you look at KKR. Each of these teams will look back at the season and think of what might have been. LSG to some extent as well. But if you look back, I like the way we've broken that up. Sometimes we break up an innings into 1-6, 7-15 and 16-20. I think that 7-15 is now worthy of being broken up into 2 halves, because 7-10 is often the part where you go the slowest. If you see where the game has changed, it's changed between 11 and 15.
That's where Delhi took off.
And they lost a wicket of the first ball of the 11th.
Of the 11th over. But 11-15 is where they took off. Increasingly, I think we should start seeing teams now moving from 11 up to 8 or 9. Because 7-10, you lose a lot of matches 7-10. So 11-15 was where they won the game. Because if you see at the back end, they've actually scored less. They won the game 11-15, which was the partnership between Karun, Nair and Samir Rizvi.
Karun Nair as well, perhaps buoyed by his test selection, must have been in a happy mood, and it reflects the mindset that you carry into a game, shows in what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think why not? You've put in all the hard yards. One of the reasons why one starts playing, I would assume, is for that reason, that you want to wear the caps, and especially after somebody like Karun Nair who gets a triple hundred. One of the rare few to get a triple hundred in Indian cricket, and then suddenly after a few games you are nowhere in the picture.
Yeah.
So you've toiled all this while, moved state sides, done all the hard yards, put all the numbers. Literally, he's broken down the door to get a look in. And why not? And again, for me, Harsha mentioned that 89, which he had the very first game that he batted. The only question is sometimes you're going through this purple patch. You come into IPL and sometimes you want to overprove yourself.
Yeah.
You get so enthused about everything that, or too eager as a beaver to do so much that you end up faltering. It was good to see that innings. It's just that I was surprised that post that he didn't manage, or he didn't put together or string together that many innings. Happy to see him again get runs the way he did today.
After
That innings was very interesting because if a wicket had fallen after 4 overs, somebody else was supposed to come in. He came in because a wicket fell before 4 overs in the Mumbai-Delhi game.
Yeah.
And then he made that 89.
91.
What I loved about the 89 game, that 89 innings, Kartik, was he didn't seem to be hitting the ball hard.
He seemed unhurried.
And today I saw that again. He was hitting the ball hard, but he was getting into positions. He didn't look like he was pummeling the ball, but he was looking very, very fluent.
But even today, if you look at his batting, the first phase of it, he was trying to hit hard. And then it took him a while to realize that that's not his game. The more stable he is at the crease, the more he will be a lot more effective. He was not happy in between because he tried to play a few frenetic shots and he didn't time it. And you could see that body language. And coming back to what you said, that is exactly what he did. He seemed so unhurried against the likes of Bumrah and everyone else. And again, you make that point, you celebrate. Why not? You put in all the hard yards. This is what we play for.
That moment with Bumrah in that MI game, which also gave us a new Rohit Sharma meme, by the way, would that have perhaps... He almost looked apologetic at the end of it, as if to say, I wasn't guilty, or looking apologetic. You think he was...
That way. He can look that way. After the game the other day, I had a little chat with Kevin Peterson. And we're talking about, and I have this habit of asking people, you've seen this guy close by. So he pointed at him and he said, he's a tough cookie. He said, I've even played golf with him. Even there, he's a tough cookie. If you're not a tough cookie, he would have retired by now. When you go your downturn in 2018, right? You got your triple in 2016-17. You picked on a tour in 2018. We are now 2025. You've lost your place in the Karnataka side. You've seen your peers go ahead. You've seen some peers go away. And you start to think, how much longer do I want to go on? It's only a special kind of player who says, no, I will keep trying. Some will make it, some will not. So if you have changed sides, you still dream of playing, you've got to be a tough cookie.
Yeah, and also he was not picked a couple of seasons in the IPL as well.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Since he talked, but just last point on that, Karun Nair's batting, the best player I have seen who was hitting the ball beautifully, powerfully, without ever looking like he hit it powerfully, was Mahela Jayawardene. Especially when he opened the batting in T20. I saw it's too big a name, but I saw glimpses of that. Just...
Safe to say that at 2 p.m. today, he was unburdened by the weight of what if I don't get selected. He would have been carrying that thought throughout.
100%.
I'm pretty sure anybody would be lying if they said that they weren't thinking about it. Because again, it comes back to that, isn't it? You put in all the hard yards to get picked. So I don't think anybody would be saying that they weren't thinking about it. But sometimes you cannot control. You cannot control that. He's put in the hard yards. And that's up there. Right now, he can only concentrate on the game ahead or what he can do with the bat.
But Kartik, you've been in that situation yourself so many times where you think, I've done all the hard work. Will I, won't I? Will I, won't I?
Of course,
it's natural to feel that
It's like you've written a great exam and you're waiting for your results.
So I don't know if you would have felt unburdened or relieved. I don't know what feelings you would have gone through. But... yeah, then to pick yourself up and play an innings like this was well done.
Is he a certainty in the 11th first test? If yes, where does he bat?
If you pick 15, 16 players, you can say some are certain. But when you pick 18, in my book, I think he's batting at 6. I don't know if it's right number for him because all his life he's batted at 4. But I see him batting at 6 in the first test match.
I've not gone that far ahead to think about it, to be very honest.
I think Rishabh 5, Karun, Nair 6 is the way I'm looking at it, unless they want to play Jadeja at 6 as a pure batter.
Yet
Not
not
as a pure batter, as someone who can bowl, but as someone who can bat at 6.
A lot more coming out up on Cricbuzz over the next 20 days or so about that first England test. For now, though, we shall focus on this really topsy-turvy looking top half of the points table.
That is what I was concentrating on, not on Karun Nair.
Thank you, sir. Bring up the points table and perhaps Kartik can tell us where he sees this performance from Punjab, because there is a possibility that they may not finish in the top 2 after losing this game. A lot could happen.
Yeah, look, all 3 days, as you mentioned, it's the teams who are not in the hunt for the playoffs have managed to upset the better ranked sides. So how does this play out? Mumbai wins, they get to 18.
Punjab.
Gujarat has to win tomorrow. If they win, they're locked in for a top 2 place.
Absolutely.
Because they're playing Chennai.
Yeah.
Punjab is playing Mumbai, so that's a tough game.
Yeah, that's the only game I think where the top 4 are playing each other.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Mumbai versus
Yes.
Punjab.
Yeah.
I think who else is playing tomorrow? KKR and SRH are playing. Then LSG and RCB play on the 27th, which is the last game.
That's
And
RCB's
again, LSG have been unburdened.
Yeah.
They played really well against GT.
And you saw how Marsh and Puran and the others played. They could just change a game. Yeah.
So, yeah, again, it makes for interesting reading because 3 days in a row, all the well-laid plans of the fancied sides have been put to
It's
rest.
a fabulous points table. Let's try and put that points table up again.
Yeah.
Because now any of the teams can go on top. Look at what happens if Punjab and Bengaluru stumble again.
Yeah.
And Gujarat stumble. I know too many things have to happen. Mumbai can actually, with their net run rate, go top of the table.
So Mumbai plays
Mumbai beats Punjab. If
so
Mumbai-
they go to 18.
They
If
go to
Gujarat loses to Chennai, they still stay on 18.
18 and Mumbai's net run rate will take them above them.
Yeah, that's fine, but they'll still be top 2.
But there's
And if
Bangalore.
Bengaluru falter against LSG,
Yeah.
then they'll be at 17. So Gujarat still have a chance of finishing top 2.
It's still a lot to happen.
Yeah.
But who's to say that the last 3 days a lot didn't happen?
Yeah.
The last 3 days, all the fancy teams have lost, so it can happen. This is the great thing about the IPL. That on any given day, any team can beat anyone else because every team has match winners in it.
Simply put, Punjab have to beat MI. If they don't, as they said, it could look very different. But regardless of where they
Is
finish,
there a possibility that Punjab and Mumbai, irrespective of the result, play each other again? Is that possible? Can we just look at the points table? Because if, say Punjab beat Mumbai, suppose. Right? Punjab go to 19, Mumbai are 16. If Bengaluru have a good win,
They'll go to 19.
they'll go to 19 as well, and Gujarat win 20. So even if Punjab beats Mumbai, they'll play each
They can
other.
play again.
They'll play each other in 3. It's
But
possible they play each other.
that is based on Bengaluru beating LSG
yes.
and Gujarat beating Chennai so that they are the top 2 sides with a better run rate.
regardless of where they finish, Punjab, they will be going into the playoffs, possibly with 2 losses back to back if they lose to MI. So losing to DC, losing to MI, this is a team that had a lot of momentum.
Yeah, look, this will worry them because this is their best bowling side, right? It's not that they are missing a bowler. This is their best bowling side, and they've not defended 200 plus score against a team that's gone. If you remember, we said in the
No Chahal though.
Yeah, could be. If you remember, we said in the mid innings that if one team has made 200, it seems like a decent surface, even though it didn't look like one, then the other team should be able to get there. So Punjab will be a little worried. They'll want Chahal back to get wickets in the middle overs, but they'll be a little worried saying with our bowling, we couldn't defend 200.
And sometimes even if you don't get wickets, just to have a good bowler there in the middle is for great viewing, and also from an opposition point of view, it's a psychological thing because you at least know that we have to counter him.
A little worried about Arshdeep. I thought Arshdeep,
Back-to-back 2 days.
yeah, he should be finishing those, nailing those end overs.
Let's focus a little bit on the Delhi Capitals now. They won their first 4 games and then they suddenly lost momentum. Good to finish season with a win. And this is a team that's played without Abhishek Porel today. No Jake Fraser-McGurk either. Who else is missing? Mitchell Stark is not there. Axar Patel not playing.
Those two primarily.
Yeah.
Because well as Abhishek Porel has played in parts,
Yeah.
Abhishek Porel is not someone that you get him in the middle of the night thinking, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Stark has had an iffy season. Much like last time, Stark made it big only in the playoffs. The player they missed today was Axar Patel. I think Faf said at the toss the other day, he said, we're missing, when you lose Axar, you lose 2 players.
2 players, yeah.
So I think in the absence of Axar, for the bowling to come up and deliver will be a big plus for Delhi.
They will finish at number 5 at the end of this league.
And fair enough.
This is a good squad, perhaps under-delivered slightly. Did they look like a playoff team?
Look, initially, the way they started, maybe yes. Because of the fact that Kuldeep was bowling well. For me, again, I go back to Kuldeep. They had Axar Patel, and nobody had seen Vipraj Nigam.
Yeah.
Vipraj, they have got a fabulous find for the next season.
Sure.
Yes.
And if Kuldeep can be the way Kuldeep can be, and Axar can be the way Axar can be, you're talking about 12 great overs in the middle. They still have to figure out their fast bowling, because Mukesh, as much as they would have wanted from Mukesh, it was not the season. Mid-Stark, Harsha just mentioned. Again, Mohit was dropped. So they need to tweak their fast bowlers around. I think the spin is sorted. You've got Ashutosh, who's been pretty good. He was good with Punjab.
Yeah.
He's been good over here as well. Again, I don't know whether Faf will come back, because again, or they do look at him. I know all of them have been picked. He was the vice captain this year. But they do have the makings of a good side.
Yeah.
In Samir Rizvi, they've again found somebody. And you look at that side and you would say KL Rahul is always going to be there. Karun Nair is there. So they have some real good players. Maybe a bit more of trust and game time for T. Natarajan, because the odd games that he has bowled fine. He's been perfectly fine. So, yeah.
But I think you hit the nail on the head with Kuldeep. I think you hit the nail on the head with Kuldeep Yadav. I think he was bowling so well
It worked well
that
for
he
them.
was giving wickets. Now, if Kuldeep is taking wickets from 7 to 15, you're not finishing the way that some other teams are. So Kuldeep was taking those wickets in the middle overs. That was the big difference. He just went off the boil a little bit towards the end. So
Very
Kuldeep's-
quickly, a report card for Axar Patel, the captain.
You'll have to give him 7 out of 10. I would give him 7 out of 10. The reason being, the first year, never easy to captain a franchise side with all the players around. You learn on the job, you make mistakes. There are certain things as a captain, you have spur of the moment decisions which tend to backfire. There are certain things which you didn't want to do and it end up going for you. So those kind of mistakes are to be made, but just the way he handled everybody, just the way things went for him, I have to give him a 7 out of 10. I think maybe I should give him more as well, but 7 out of 10, I feel is a decent number for him.
I honestly, I don't know. I don't find myself studied enough to be able to give a number. So if you allow me, I'll pass that one, because I don't think I'll be able to give an honest answer.
But not too many tweaks, given how this team has done. And as
No, you
Kartik
don't
said,
want to. It's a 3-year cycle. You don't want to make tweaks.
Yeah.
But you want to have a stable opening pair. They'll have to decide now, is KL Rahul the opener throughout next year?
Yeah.
Then find an opening partner. Because as GT have shown dramatically, but every other team shows, when you're top 3, you're doing well, a lot of other things fall in.
RCB as well.
Yeah.
Today, though, the toast of the team is Samir Rizvi. He hit 5 sixes and took the game past that finish line, and he is our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas. Shore comes Zyada. 5 monstrous sixes. This guy can hit them big.
And couple of those which he hit behind square were just very good-looking shots. The shots of someone who was in command. I'll go back to how he came in at a situation where he didn't have time to play himself in.
Yeah.
Luckily for him, Karun Nair was batting well at the other end. Sometimes we just need that those little 4-5 balls.
Yeah.
But very impressed with the way he went on to finish it. Because at one point, it looked like they needed 48 or 4 overs.
Yeah.
Look, 48 or 4 is not easy to get, because even one good over means the asking rate's 13, 14. It's very, very tough to get.
Yeah.
So I thought the way he handled, because he was a dominant partner with Tristan Stubbs,
Yeah.
the way he handled it from 48 or 4 is something that, forget Delhi Capitals, for his own career will give him a lot of confidence.
Looked a bit lost at CSK, was bought for a massive 6 or 7 CR or whatever it was. This year looks a lot happier, perhaps a lot settled here. Only 21 years of age, surely could be part of DC's long-term plans.
Manish, we'll come back to what we said before. There are certain times where you might be a good player, but you might not be a great fit in some other side. You think of Prasidh Krishna and how his life has changed at GT.
Yeah.
We spoke about Mohit Sharma over there, and Mohit Sharma in DC, not the same player.
You mentioned Nehal Vadera.
Nehal Vadera. We
Got a
mentioned
good
Nehal
number.
Vadera, who was always in the shadow of Tilak Verma. If Tilak Verma didn't play, he would get a gig. Right now, or this year, a consistent run, the belief that you're a wanted player in the side does wonders to everybody. Trust me when I say this, having been there.
Yeah.
So when you don't have to watch over your back at all times, you can get a 40-50 and then think, oh, I might not be playing the next game. So the next time you walk out to play, you're not the same player. You're always thinking you first rather than team first.
Yeah.
It's a natural tendency. Once you've been given that long rope saying that you are my player, you are a wanted member of the side, WA and VAU as well, both pun intended, you are a different player, and that is what you want. So Samir Rizvi this season, suddenly maybe Hemang and Ko go, or KP goes, you are a gun player, believe in yourself. It does wonders.
Yeah.
Wants to emulate his heroes, Suresh Raina, also from UP. So the truth is that Merit doesn't just give the world great bats, but solid, big-hitting batters as well. And Samir Rizvi, very much one of them. And he is our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas. Shore kam zyada, 58 not out of 25, 3-4s.
I suddenly looked at that kit and it's like, where is a Zimbabwean player?
Yeah, it looks very simple. But it's good to see there's players coming from UP, there's players coming from MP. They're coming outside the catchment areas because of the city leagues, because of the smaller leagues. They're coming from outside the typical catchment areas. Yeah. Isn't the leggy from UP as well?
Braj.
Zishan. Rathi's from Delhi?
Digvesh Rathi is
He's from Delhi, yes.
But Vipraj is from UP?
Yes.
So you're starting to get all these different kinds of players coming through, which is a fantastic sign.
Let's also take a look at the Punjab bowling. Did the captain get it wrong? Because in the last 4, Arshdeep bowled only 1. They used 2 overs of him in the power play. Could they have done something else?
Look, again, we come back to the same point. It was their frontline bowling unit, maybe missing Chahal, but sometimes you play around with the situation, you play around with the bowlers that you have, and in Arshdeep and Marco Janssen, you have 2 bowlers who are designated to bowl at that point of time. So, did he get it wrong?
It's tough because he would have wanted to close out the game with that one Arshdeep over in between and make it very difficult. A lot of players will do that. A lot of teams will do that. They'll get their big bowler back around 14-15. We saw Pat Cummins do that yesterday. Yeah. Came back over number 13-14 to bowl his 3rd over. So a lot of teams do that. What they're missing in there is that one bowler that the opposition is thinking, right, where am I going to get runs from? It's easy to say Jasprit Bumrah was a once-in-a-generation bowler, but you need to have that one bowler in that side. Yeah. That's why I thought Arshdeep might have been that bowler, but he bowls a lot of difficult overs. Yeah. So that is where they look at their batting and say, yes, English stick, Stoinis stick, openers stick, Shreyas Iyer tick. Shashank tick. So the batting is looking all right. It's just that they will now think, how many do we need to score in a crunch game?
Less than 45 hours to go before they can sort those issues out and take on MI. That's on Monday. Sunday will offer you 2 games. The last doubleheader of this IPL. The first game is the Gujarat Titans versus the Chennai Super Kings. It's number 1 versus number 10. Now, GT lost comprehensively to LSG. Can they just shrug it off as a one-off, or are there bigger concerns to look at?
If it happens again, then it's a concern. But what they'll be concerned about is that their bowling was taken apart. And there'll be a big concern over Rashid Khan. I mean, I don't know, you've never had a major surgery in your career as a bowler?
I have 2.
Yeah, the back?
No. My shoulder, which was my bowling arm, and my landing knee.
The reason I'm asking is, didn't Rashid have a back surgery? So when I spoke to him at the midway stage of this tournament, he said, I'm bowling about 70%. And that is very difficult when you come back from a back surgery to come up to that level. Yep. But he went 2 overs for 36 the other day. Yep. Whereas GT has always been a bowling side. Yeah. They
normally throw the ball to him as well first. Yeah. It was Sai Kishore who was...
Yeah. So if their bowling gets hammered again, then they will worry.
To address their bowling issues, barring Rashid Khan, do they bring in someone like Gerald Coetzee for Rabada?
Look, they can tinker with that. But the thing is, again, they're very much the kind of side which gives a lot of confidence to the players that they have. Again, Rashid, for the performance this year, does he warrant a place in the side? Because going into the business end of the season, you don't want any loose ends. You could be the best bowler in the world. You could have been a big force in world cricket. But if you're not bowling well currently, or if you're injured, they can definitely look at other options. But having said that, they are banking upon the fact that Rashid Khan's 4 good overs wins you a game. Yeah. And also, not that alone, he brings in a lot on the field. He's a dynamic batter also in the end. So that is one of the reasons why you end up going back to the field or the player who has done well for you,
Sure.
for you in the past. And again, coming back to what Harsha said, last game they were just taken apart. Some of the bowling and some of the fields that they had and what the bowlers did post that was surprising, which was only a couple of days ago. And also, I'm still not sure if their top three doesn't fire.
Yeah.
They have power.
I know.
But the thing is, can they win them again? That is all I'm saying.
To some extent, the positive from that last game was Shah Rukh coming out.
And Rutherford.
Shah Rukh and Rutherford's done it a little bit before, but yes,
Yeah.
Rutherford and Shah Rukh, because we're all waiting to see what happens if they're 3 down.
Yeah.
But I'm still concerned. One day they are 25 for 3. Do they have the batting to go to 180 from there?
Yeah.
They will, of course, look at the Indian men's test team captain for some inspiration, who is embarking on a new chapter in his life and career as well. They're up against CSK, who lost to the Rajasthan Royals in their last game. Different players in different moods in this squad. Some perhaps may not be part of the team next season. Some surely will be. They've answered a few questions. What zone do you reckon they will be in this game?
They have to go with the feeling that they can cause an upset tomorrow. You never know. We saw what Rajasthan Royals did to GT.
3 in a row, in fact.
No, I'm just
Eliminated teams have won in the last 3
Yeah,
games.
I'm just going back to that game where they again got 206 or something, or 220, where Suryavanshi smashed the GT bowlers. That was the day where Rashid Khan captained, and Shubman didn't. So if they have a surprise package like that, if Matre goes mad or if Bravis goes bananas, then you know that there can be an upset there as well. They would not. They can ill afford it right now, just because of the momentum, and also given that they want to finish in the top 2, so they would not want to lose 2 back-to-back games against lesser ranked sides. But it is possible. We have seen that.
Okay, very quickly, players to watch out for, one each. GTCS.
Bravis,
me
and
too.
Saisu for me.
Definitely Bravis for me, because I think I'm very worried about CSK's lower half. I don't think they have that same power that some other teams have. With Dubey not at the top of his game, Dhoni not at the top of his game. So I think Bravis has to play that role. So to me, for that side, Bravis is absolutely critical for them, even though he's actually coming midway through. So it's an indictment of what came before. So for me, from CSK, CSK is Bravis. In Gujarat, it'll be a huge plus for them if the bowling fires. So I was going to say Rabada, but he's not available for the playoffs. Neither is Butler.
Got it.
Saisu,
correct. Neither is Butler. I'm struggling with the Rajasthan Royals. Maybe Shah Rukh Khan again, because that'll be a big plus
Shah
for
Rukh
them.
Khan or GT?
With GT.
With GT. Yeah.
You said Rajasthan.
Sorry, Rajasthan. It's just too late at night.
I was just confused.
It's too late.
You said that's my Rajasthan and saying something.
Late nights, early morning flights. Yeah.
Pink.
Not in the pink of health. 2 teams, SRH and KKR, will be in action.
I thought he's talking my health. I was a little worried there. Okay.
There they are in Delhi. 2 teams already eliminated. Hyderabad versus Kolkata. This is a repeat of last year's final, but one team coming off 2 wins. They beat RCB in their last game, so
and
why
LSG.
not end on a high?
And LSG.
As well.
LSG.
You'd rather finish 6 than finish 7 or 8.
Yes, but you rather finish on a high and remind yourself that this is the kind of cricket we played. And I'll tell you, I saw Hyderabad play that day, Sunrisers. They looked really good. Because when they're firing, when they're playing like that, they just went go, 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 and they got runs all the way through to the end. So they're looking in good form. Abhishek is looking good again. And I love the maturity with which Ishan Kishan took the game deep, because I have a lot of time for that young kid when he's doing well. Sometimes I just think he's all over the place a little bit. So they're in very good touch.
SRH seemed like a team that's pressed the snooze button too many times, but they seem to have woken up a bit too late. But they want to believe they can beat this KKR side.
Look, of course they will believe. And also, you mentioned what they did day before. I had covered the game where they got the highest score of the season, 286, which was game number 2. And everybody was talking 300 is easily gettable. So they have that firepower. Just look at their ranks. Nitish Kumar Reddy hasn't fired the way anyone would have expected him. Heinrich Klaassen hasn't finished games for them with all the what should I say, reputation he came into the IPL with. Good to see Aniket Verma contribute for them, because I think he's got a lot of time and the way he hits shots. And again, Abhishek and Travis said if they go strong, It's very good. Harsha Patel, Jaydev Unadkat, Ishan Malinga, Pat Cummins, 4 bowlers. And actually, me and Amit Mishra were having this chat amongst the leg spinners, who's actually been the most impressive and you feel has got a lot of skill. Zishan has got a lot of skill.
But one of their biggest problems this year has been spin. The number of runs they concede against spin. He's a young kid, Zishan Ansari.
Yeah, but he's got the makings of a good spinner.
Do you bring in a Rahul Chahar and Zishan in? Because
no, this year there's the left armer who's come up really well.
Yeah.
So they can use the Harish Dubey, the left arm finger spinner, has come up really well. Broke the partnership against RCB when Virat Kohli was batting. So I think Harsh Dubey is now completing that lineup. If they see a little bit of grip, they might use Zishan as the impact sub and come in and play with 2 spinners. But they now have a 6th bowling option which they didn't have all along, because Nitish Reddy is now giving them 2-3 overs.
Yeah.
So they're suddenly looking a little bit more rounded, and they're batting a little deeper. They've moved Nitish down from number 4. I think maybe it's too early for him to be number 4. So they've put Klaasen at 4. Nitish is coming down. And one of the finds for them has been Aniket Verma.
Right. KKR, when they...
Sorry, one more find. He was excellent. Won them the game the other day. Was Ishan Malinga.
One of the other options as well. Now, the opposition KKR, when they last took the field, they lost to CSK. That was before the break. And thereafter, their game against RCB was a washout. What changes do you make? Venkatesh Iyer comes in straight away?
When have they last played? It looks like it's been ages since I saw KKR play.
Their last game was on the 17th of May.
Okay.
Where they didn't play that game because...
Correct, they didn't play that game.
Before that was 7th May, CSK.
There you go. It's been a long time since they've played, and now they've got to come back for their last game, right? This is their last game.
Yes.
So it's not easy for them. It's been a season for KKR that has ended the way it started. Do they know a lot more about their side at the end of the season than they knew at the start? I'm afraid no. So that is something that in one final game, there'll be people in there saying, I want to be retained. I want to come back next year. I want to play well next year. And that is something you watch out for, because their best batter has actually been Ajinkya Rahane this year.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've answered too many questions in the course of the season.
Venkatesh Iyer will come in, but very quickly, players to watch out for?
From KKR?
Both, one each.
I'm trying to figure out a name from KKR. But I would like to go for a Harsh Dubey with what am I saying?
No.
Sunrisers Hyderabad.
It is that time of the day.
Yeah, Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
No, Sunrisers Hyderabad is playing KKR.
Correct.
Yeah, so Harsh Dubey from Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Because whatever have seen the last 2 games, I think he's got the makings of a fine spinner. And one of the reasons why I'm picking him. And with
Correct.
KKR.
Exactly the issue. With KKR, who's your player to watch out for? If you're taking time, that in itself is the answer.
Varun Chakravarti.
Got
2 of the all-time great T20 players in their team.
Sunil Narine.
And Andre Russell. But I'd like to see Russell go up again. So my player to watch out for is Andre Russell. Because I think he can turn the game, KKR, if he's given that slot.
Hyderabad?
Up at the top, I want to see Vishan Kishan can get string 2 performances in a row. So that one, yeah.
And the reason why I went for Varun Chakravarti is I feel that somebody who can have or make a dent or make inroads into the opposition, Varun Chakravarti. So I'm going for Varun Chakravarti. And the person he spoke about, Ishan Malinga, who won them the game, he cost me my prediction game.
The wounds are deep.
And fresh.
Yeah.
Okay, Joy Factor, a tricky question that I believe our experts have cracked. For your reference, this is the question. If it was Kamaljit Singh in the year 2000 and Ashutosh Aman in 2019, who is it in 2025?
Is the person I just named as my player to watch out from Sunrisers Hyderabad.
And why?
And Harsh Dubey because he's the highest wicket taker in Ranji Trophy.
It's incredible, Harsh Dubey this year, but I know Kamaljit Singh very well. We used to play against each other, senior division, all those hundreds of years ago. But in 1981-82, he was already breaking into first-class cricket. And to be the leading wicket taker 19 years later is incredible. And I think he went on an A tour when he was around 40 or so.
42.
Yeah, 40 or so. Lovely off spinner, yeah.
Has to be a proper cricket romantic who got this one right. Joy will be mighty proud of a name that'll come up on your screens in just a bit. Robin Chopra, 10. Well done. I'm sure Joy's noticed this as well, and I'm sure you can be one of Joy's regulars sending in the answers to Joy Factor. Guessing game. You should be a happy man today.
Arey yaar, what happy? 1 out of 2 you could have been 2
Sir,
out of 2.
kabhi to khush ho jao.
No,
That is
that
the
is why
difference.
I told you. Yesterday, what did I say? Yesterday you were not here. Sorry, I was in 3 weeks at the top. The reason why I compared, this is a small thing. This is one of my biggest highlights. The feather in my cap. I won the Champions Trophy. I worked my socks off to come from the second page to the first page and to the leaderboard for 3 weeks. So I will compare myself to Tiger Woods and Roger Federer. Why not? I'm competing against some of the best pundits in Cricbuzz, isn't it?
The problems of the rich and the famous.
I have to raise the bar. When I'm talking about Virat Kohli raising the bar, I want to raise the bar too. I am proud.
It's such a great example of how two people can have the
Feisty.
same result and look at it very differently.
So true.
I mean, yeah, man, I got 1 out of 2 because I don't get those many.
So you are one of those kids who doesn't pass and the parents are happy when you get 40 marks.
Arey
I'm
sir,
so happy.
18 holes में सब में hole in one नहीं होता है. I have a dream. I want to see Murali Kartik happy.
Of course I'm happy.
This
What
is happy?
this? Yeah, I've been smiling and chirping.
He's wearing a red jacket.
Yeah.
Okay, more on the jacket, but that's not for public consumption. We shall say goodbye now.
No, we have to look at the list, boss.
Of what? Oh, yeah, graphic. Oh, sorry.
That time of the night.
That time of the night. Bring it up.
What happened?
Joy Bhattacharya. Third from bottom. There must be a 4th or 5th decimal place somewhere because we are both 14.28 and my all-time favorite person is still there. Michael Vaughan is a gun man, top man.
I got one right and I moved to the left side of the graphic.
Can we have a look at it again, please?
Please do. Please do.
I don't
Please
even
hold
know
on
who's
to
on the
it.
Are
left.
you here tomorrow?
I'm here tomorrow.
So you've got 4 chances. The problem is even Gaurav has 4 chances tomorrow. The other way to look at it is, if you get more wrong, then you can slip.
I know. That is why I'm dreading it.
Gaurav could slip as well, no?
Yeah, I'll stay close to Gaurav tomorrow.
We should put up a camera in one of our lounges because this little banter between GK and Kartik is quite special. We are done for the day. Tomorrow is going to be a long day for the team. I'm going to be sitting at home and watching these guys in action. So do join Voltas presents Cricbuzz live at 3 p.m. Bye for now. Good night.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Express, Railway Station, Netaji Bhavan.